Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have some Bitcoin and Litecoin news in addition to my Litecoin price predictions, and on top of that we have a special announcement with an event. It's a non-crypto event, but it is fascinating nevertheless. This must be said, none of this is legal, tax and or financial advice. Please do your own research. The first article for today, we have Eric Finman, who is in the news. He's very famous for being one of the youngest Bitcoin millionaires. Teenage Bitcoin millionaire Eric Finman has once again thrown himself into the spotlight by claiming that the flagship cryptocurrency will die, in inverted commas, unless the sticky issues it is facing are resolved. Speaking to Yahoo Finance, Finman indicated that the sticky issues plaguing Bitcoin are four. This includes its complexity with regards to use, high transaction fees, slow processing speeds, and infighting among development teams. He also points this out in a tweet, and I've actually got the original tweets here on his page. So let's have a look here. If Bitcoin wants to not die, it needs more than speculation. 1. Solve speeds. 2. Solve transaction fees. 3. For the people working on the above to stop being cultish. And 4. Have an easy on-ramp for new users. This is the biggest problem. Okay, I want to chime in with some of my input here. Now, in terms of the speeds, two major things that will help speed up the network and then ease the congestion will be the Lightning Network, in addition to we've got SegWit as well. So the Lightning Network and SegWit will help it scale and reduce the congestion, as I mentioned. Now, for those who are new to the space, welcome. I just want to quickly describe. So Lightning Network, it's like a second layer scaling solution to help broaden the network. And then SegWit, it is a process that removes the signature data from the transactions, and then this allows for a larger block size limit. So these two things make a difference, and there's been progress in this over the past 12 months or so. And some more information here in this article. I won't read through these, but I'll just point them out on the screen. There's a CCN article there. Crypto Slate has an article where Jack Dorsey's showing his support behind these the channels and nodes with the Bitcoin Lightning Network as well. So there's this article. So back to Eric's tweet. Solve speeds and transaction fees. I think the speeds are being addressed slowly but surely. The transaction fees are, according to this CCN article, and then look, some people may argue otherwise. Always do your own research, and plenty of it as well. They're saying that the fees have dropped to, I think it's a 3-year low. And further information down here. Now, if I look at this, the fees are still fairly high when you consider the other percentiles, and then the fees per block as well. So as Kevin Rook, who is, it says here, cryptocurrency community researcher, he has pointed out that there are many more transactions, but the median Bitcoin transaction fee still is the same as opposed to what was the case in October 2015. So some positives to reflect on, but I'm still not convinced. We need a lot more work to be done to really accelerate the process and keep the fees down if we want Bitcoin to be competitive, especially with other cryptos picking up their game as well. But yeah, that's a wrap for the Bitcoin news. I want to introduce you to the Litecoin news for today and this price prediction. And this was an article written earlier today on Smarterium. Litecoin price prediction, it might hit $220 in the next 3 months. The price of Litecoin has had a pretty nice year so far. Litecoin USD price has grown enormously this year, with an increase of more than 200% over the past 5 months. The crypto market has been on a roller coaster ride over the past months. After posting massive gains last week, the crypto market is currently in the red. But again, overall, I just want to chime in, there has been significant growth. In fact, I just want to quickly point out, just to jump away from the article, the price for the quarter is up significantly, so hovering at about around 50 to 55 for a while, and then it's now up in the 80s. So some healthy growth. Whoops, not that one. Let's continue. Okay, this talks about how the prices have dropped by about 10% over the past day. I'll talk a bit more about that later, and with the altcoins. A lot of this boils down to the block reward halving that is going to occur in August. well, the author believes that the Litecoin price will skyrocket up to $140 and then will hit 220 and then exceed that. And yes, the block reward halving, I just want to point out, so we go further down the article if you'd like, again, link in the description. This is the official website with the countdown clock for the halving event that will occur when the reward per block mined will be reduced from 25 to 12.5 coins. And this is a very neat video here that explains how the halving occurs. Can't play it for copyright reasons, but it's right there. And Bitcoin also has its equivalent. So the Bitcoin block reward will be exactly a year as of today. And yeah, that will be highly anticipated as well. This should most likely get the Bitcoin price to increase as well, in addition to all the other news that's happened. Now, in terms of my price predictions, what I believe will happen is, and I've done my calculations here. In fact, I've got the calculator right there. So I've got a few here. So the price predictions I have will be 200, 500, 2,000, and 5,000 per Litecoin. Let's start with 200. Okay, so what I've done, just to check, and you're more than welcome to verify this as well, it is if you get the circulating supply and you multiply that by 200, this should provide the market cap for that price of 200. According to this, so 12.384 billion US dollars, and then multiply that by 2.5 to get 500 per Litecoin. That should be 30.960 billion dollars for $500 per Litecoin. For $2,000 per Litecoin, 123.84 billion, and then with the 5,000 per Litecoin, it's just this, but moving the decimal place across. So 309 and 601. So $309.601 billion. Now let's discuss how attainable these are. I think $200 per Litecoin, yes, this can be hit in the next 3 months. I don't doubt that. If the market goes gangbusters and we've got rapid growth between now and say New Year's Eve, between now and the new year, I think we could even potentially hit $500 per Litecoin. $2,000 per Litecoin by the end of this year, I doubt that. Let's look at the all-time price. For perspective, so we had the all-time high there. What's that? That was about $360, give or take. And 2017, I mean, we'll never be able to emulate that growth. That was just absolutely astronomical. We had that, and the market cap at this point hit, I think it was about $850 billion. So if we want $500 per Litecoin price, we need a market cap over $1 trillion realistically. And that's plausible. 2,000 per Litecoin, I think, would need mass scale and very widespread adoption for Litecoin and people to be just embracing it with open arms. And then you'd also rely on Bitcoin to be thriving as well. If you were to ever see a $2,000 per Litecoin price, $5,000 per Litecoin, I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think maybe in 10 years' time, if the crypto space will be colossal, then hopefully, I guess anyone listening to this, most people would want the space to just really just moon, to be honest, absolutely nuts, and then just be a huge disruptor to the global market and the system we have at the moment. So 200 and 500, I'd say easily in the next 12 months. 2,000 probably maybe in about 2.5 to 3 years if things go to plan, and I believe they will. $5,000, yeah, give it another 7 or 10 years, I reckon. I also wanted to point out that, so this also coincided with Charlie Lee making the announcement back in December 2017 that he was selling all of his Litecoins. And I think some people started to panic, and that could have been a factor. I mean, there are obviously many factors. Release of Bitcoin futures as well, that that caused a lot of concerns for many investors, especially the retail investors. And yeah, that was a time to forget. Let's be honest, how the price just crashed. Anyhow, something on a different topic. If you are in Australia by any chance, I want to point out there is the Vivid Sydney Light Music and Ideas Festival. This happens every year, 3 weeks between May and June. It is spectacular. In fact, I'm also going to suggest Vivid Sydney time-lapse show reels. This has been running for about 6 or 7 years now, and there are some breathtaking show reels and time-lapse videos of the harbour city down under. And yeah, obviously I have a soft spot for Sydney, being born and raised there, and be looking forward to going back to checking this out for the festival. So if you happen to be visiting Australia or even New Zealand, I highly recommend coming via Sydney to check this out. You will not be disappointed, especially if it's your first time. Anyway, back to the crypto. That is a wrap for today. Thank you very much to everyone who's listened to this, and if you listen this far, you're a gem. I want to mention as well, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the latest updates. Don't forget to smash the bell icon as well. Like it if you enjoyed this. Share it if you think this will benefit someone else. Feel free to comment. I always look forward to trying to get messages from people, or if you just want to say g'day, more than welcome to do so as well. That's a wrap. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I will chat to you soon. See ya.